I made my decision, I turned down Gateshead and decided to stay at Wroxham. But just 3 games later, I've had an even better offer, and it's time to say goodbye to Wroxham FC. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome to Tier 8 to Greatness, where I'm about to say a final goodbye to Wroxham FC. As you know, in the last episode, I was offered the job at Gateshead as manager. Gateshead in the National League, but they were only offering me £25 more a week than what I'm on already. And they were fighting a relegation battle in the National League. So in my thinking, if I stayed at Wroxham, managed to get them into the promotion playoffs, managed to get them up into Tier 6, and Gateshead come down into Tier 6, we'd be at the same level. So there's no point in leaving a club where we could possibly be at the same level as the club I'm going to in a season or two for not much more money. Decided to stay at Wroxham. Things stayed quite bad. To be fair, if we go and have a look at the fixture list, you'll see that we lost to Colville in the next game, then we beat Hednesford, and then we got absolutely annihilated 4-0 away at Barwell. And we were awful. We were awful throughout. Next game is against Shifnal Town, but I am not going to be here for that. You look at the league table, you will see that Wroxham currently lie 12th in the league on 37 points, 6 points off of Shifnal Town in 5th. 10 points clear of the relegation zone. So it's going to be one of those seasons, I think, of mid-table obscurity for Wroxham. The club vision, the board objective was to finish in the top half of the table. Still a possibility. I mean, you've only got to go up another 2 places. So it's still a massive possibility of finishing in the top half. But the finances are bad. Absolutely atrocious, to be fair. And that is part of me. I know I said in the last episode or the episode before that I'm not sure why it's down to the manager to improve the financial situation of a club. But I suppose I played a part in the financial crisis that the club do face. There was another message come through about the takeover. It said that someone's trying to raise £250,000 to buy the club. Well, if they're trying to raise £250,000 to buy the club and the club is about £700,000 in debt, then the new owner, the new takeover, isn't really going to change the club's fortunes much, is it? So I've decided to move on to pastures new. I was offered a job in League 2, bottom of League 2, but it's a league side and I'm going to get paid more money. As you can see, Hartlepool United Football Club had offered you a 1-year contract on £600 a week. I'm going to see if I can squeeze a little bit more money out of them. If I go to 800, that's double what I'm on now. No, they won't pay me that. About 750. 7? Yeah, there you go. £700 a week. I'm on £400 a week at the minute, so I'm going to get paid £300 a week more. And I'm going to be managing in the league. It's not the greatest situation that Hartlepool United find themselves in at the minute. They are bottom of the table. I'll show you all of that in a sec. But goodbye Wroxham. Hello Hartlepool. And here we go. Hartlepool United Football Club have hired Peter Reynolds in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate. Peter Reynolds has left Wroxham to join Hartlepool. If we look at the bottom here, it says Hartlepool are currently 24th in Sky Bet League 2. Hartlepool have only won 1 of their last 5 games in the league. Won 1, lost 2 and drawn 2 of their last 5 games. So the form's bad, the situation's bad, but I'm hoping that I can turn it around and stay in the league with Hartlepool United. The media prediction is 22nd, which would keep us up. I think there's 24 teams in League 2. We were knocked out in the first round of the FA Cup, knocked out in the first round of the EFL Cup, and knocked out in the northern section of the EFL Trophy. So we only have the league wage budget of £28,000 a week, transfer budget of £2,000 a week. We have below average training facilities, below average youth facilities, and average youth recruitment. So facilities-wise, not really much better than Wroxham, to be fair, but it's a league club. There's our best 11, or what they think is our best 11 so far at the minute. We'll have a proper little butchers at the squad when I move forward. See what we need. We're still in January, so the transfer window is still open. And we do have a chance of bringing in some new players if the money's available. The board club vision, board culture, work within a wage budget, grow the club's reputation, maximum 1-year contract players over the age of 33. Don't sign, old men. Be competitive in the FA Cup. and avoid relegation from League Two. Well, I can't be competitive in the FA Cup because we're already out of the FA Cup. So that one I can't really do, can I? The supporter culture is get the better of our rivals Darlington if we happen to play against them, avoid relegation from EFL League Two, and remain in EFL League Two. So basically, they want us to stay up. The supporter profile of Hartlepool United Football Club, we've got 35% core, 13% hardcore, 24% family, 9% fair weather, 2% corporate, and 17% casual. We have 38.6 thousand followers on social media, 2,541 season ticket holders, and the supporters have a moderate influence on the board. As you can see, Hartlepool lie bottom of League 2, 28 games played, 6 wins, 8 draws, 14 defeats, a goal difference of -12 on 26 points. Only 2 points adrift of Carlisle in 22nd. Bristol Rovers are second from bottom on 27 points, but they have a lot of games in hand on everyone else. They've only played 22. We've played 28. Most people have played 26, 27. It's going to be tough because everyone has games in hand over us. Like if you look there, Carlisle, Barrow and Rochdale all have a game in hand on us. So win those games in hand and we are further away from safety. But I'm quite confident of achieving the avoiding relegation thing. Have a look at our staff. I haven't got an assistant manager. I do have a director of football. So I need to look for an assistant manager. I didn't bring my assistant manager with me because he isn't very good. He was okay at Wroxham level, but I don't think he was going to quite cut it in the league. So I'll be looking for an assistant manager. And if we have a little look at our squad planner, just to have a look at our squad depth, we've got Marcus Dewhurst, who is our #1 goalkeeper, 3-star current ability. Patrick Boyes is back up and doesn't really have much ability to look at. At right back, we have Luke Hendry and Ewan Murray. Other than that, there's nothing. Left back, Ryan Clampin. And then Tom Bradbury is back up there with Caleb Richards, 2.5-star. Could possibly be okay. The other two, obviously, are breakthrough prospects or youngsters or whatever. In the centre of defence, we have Mohamed Niang, who is our best player by the looks of it in defence, with Tom Bradbury partnering him. So Bradbury was there as well, wasn't he? So Ryan Clampin to be the left back, Niang and Bradbury in the centre, with Rollin Menayesi and Ewan Murray as back up there. Defensive midfielder, Niang, Menayesi and Cook. In the centre of midfield, Niang's our best player there as well, with Callum Cook. Definitely looks like we need a little bit of improvement in the midfield areas. Attacking midfield, Kane Hemmings, Caden Young. Not quite sure if the star ratings will change when I change the roles. We'll see in a minute. Now up front, Charlie Kelman and Liam Smith, with Kane Hemmings as backup and Frankie Baker as a breakthrough prospect there. I am going to have a little play around with the tactics. I'm going to look at the players in a bit more detail off camera and then see if I can find a formation that fits what team we've got for the first game. And then I'm going to look to the transfer market and see if I can bring in any players. Finances. £62,805 overdrawn. I've come to another club with financial problems, but we'll try and sort them out. Wage budget of £28,398. Currently spending £24,845. So we've got about £3,500 left in the wage budget a week. And the transfer budget of £2,000. Not really going to look to try and bring in players where I'm going to have to spend a fortune on them. I'm going to look to try and bring in some decent players to add to the squad depth. But that is a quick look at Hartlepool. I'm going to go and try and find an assistant manager, have a proper look at the players, and I'll be back for our first game of the season against Bristol Rovers. See you soon. Right, we've got an assistant manager in place. I've got a couple of scouts. I've had a look at a couple of players. And now we're ready for our first game as manager of Hartlepool. We take on Bristol Rovers, who are second from bottom. And the team is Dewhurst, Hendry, Menayesi, Murray, Clampin, Lacey, Cook, Price, Young, Smith and Kelman. I'm playing with 2 advanced forwards. I'm playing the 4-4-2 narrow. I'm playing with an attacking centre midfielder. I'm going to go a bit more direct, fairly narrow, play on the counter with a low defensive line and a low block. I don't want to put too many instructions straight away. First game in charge, so I want to see what I've got and how they perform before I start giving them a lot of instructions. And we're underway in our first game as manager of Hartlepool United against Bristol Rovers in League 2. It's a bit different, isn't it? Look, there's actual people in the stands and all sorts. Clampin finds Smith out on the left. Goes back to Clampin, who plays the ball over the top to Price. Price puts it in the middle to Young, and Young, Caden Young. Hartlepool 1-0 up inside 12.5 minutes. And that is a good start to management of Hartlepool. Smith on the left. Went back to Clampin. Clampin played a good first time ball over the top. Price knocked it in the middle. There were 2 people waiting, 2 players waiting. Caden Young got on there on the volley. And that is 1-0. And that is as good a start as I could really have asked for, to be fair. Bristol Rovers seem to have taken a little bit of control of the game now. They've had more shots, more on target. They've had a lot more possession. But it still remains 1-0 to Hartlepool. And we've reached the break in the lead in my first game in charge of Hartlepool. And I'm quite happy with that. If you look at the stats, we were clearly second best for the most part. But we're ahead on the scoreline, and that's all that matters to me. Right, hopefully we won't get a massive onslaught from Bristol Rovers in this second half, and we'll be able to hold on for the victory. This second half has just sort of gone without any sort of highlights. There's been no highlights in this second half so far. And the game is going to draw to a close. There's going to be one highlight before the end, though. And that's a header over the top. It was our attack, so I wasn't really bothered by it. But Bristol Rovers, are they going to look to try and come out from the back and steal a last gasp equaliser? Hendry deals with it in defence, goes back to the keeper, who clears it long. And there are still a few seconds, and Bristol Rovers are going to get something here. But Vaughan's shot, he was offside anyway, but his shot was nowhere near the goal. And Dewhurst will take this free kick at some point. Well, no, he won't, because the final whistle went before he had the chance to take it. And it's Hartlepool 1, Bristol Rovers 0 in my first game as a league manager. Quite a few decent performances there. Little bit to be questioned about the attack. Smith with a 6.2, Kelman with a 6.4. So I might need to look at that, because that obviously didn't work. But despite the fact we were well behind on pretty much every single stat, we were ahead in the one that matters. And that is 3 points in my first game. And with that victory, we have climbed outside of the relegation zone. So we are now on 29 points in 22nd place. Carlisle have 2 games in hand on us. Bristol Rovers have 5 games in hand on us. But we have moved out of the relegation zone. So we're in the position that matters. They've got to go on and win those games in hand. It's all well and good having them, but they've got to go on and win them, and they've got to get the points to climb above us. If they do that, then we're going to drop back to the bottom of the table. But it's a fantastic start to life at Hartlepool. And hopefully I will have plenty of opportunity to strengthen the team in the next couple of weeks as January draws to a close. And build a team that can keep moving upwards rather than looking downwards. I've made my first signing as Hartlepool manager, bringing in Nathan Mariah Welsh. He's a winger who can also play, well, he's actually a centre midfielder, natural, who can also play on the wing. He always comes up with the wrong thing for some reason. Attacking midfielder or a central midfielder. Best role is Mazzala as a central midfielder or a shadow striker. Got some very good attributes. He's quick. He's got stamina. He's agile. He's determined. He's got a bit of flair. Good leadership. And he's got long shots as well. So we might be able to have a little bit of a threat from outside the box. He is a Guyanese international, 31 caps for his country with 7 goals. He's 23 years old, so he'll be around for a while. And yeah, I'm hoping that he can have an immediate impact on the team because, I pointed out before, we were a little bit light in the midfield areas. I'm going to play through the next couple of games off camera because we've got Burton Albion and Tranmere away. But then we have 2 crucial home games against Barrow and Carlisle. And they are the 2 teams that sit directly above us in the league. So both of those games are relegation 6-pointers. So I'm going to have to show both of them. It will also bring us to the end of January and the end of the transfer window as well. So hopefully we won't get slaughtered too much in our 2 away games. And the morale won't be too low when we come back. But life at Hartlepool's got off to a good start, and I'm hoping that it can get even better. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to know when future videos are released, and comment just to say hi or let me know that you enjoyed what you were watching. It was a tough decision to leave Wroxham. It was a very tough decision. This series was going to be just a 1-club save, but I think the financial problems, the fact that we weren't ever going to be able to get those players needed to actually lift us up the divisions unless we got a big, big takeover. There has been a fans takeover, but I don't think they're going to inject any cash or anything into the side. And they're going to be happy just plodding along in the lower tiers of English football. While I am hoping to lift myself up to the top, to the Premier League and beyond, hopefully. Anyway, that wraps it up for this episode. I hope you will join me again next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye for now.